This is Jason from GameRave.com, otherwise known as Danger Boy, and we're back with Game Rave TV. This week I have a really cool variant to show you. I got off of eBay, and it is basically a combo pack of the Metal Gear Solid Greatest Hits game and the strategy guide. Now what makes this so weird is, A, it's a combo pack, B, the SKU on the back isn't a Konami SKU. It doesn't even show up in the SKU database. And I figured today we could look at, the guidebook got ruined. It's all folded up and stuff. Let me open this real quick, and I'll get to the explaining as soon as I can figure out how to open this case. Give me a second on that. Fuck am I supposed to open this case? What is the Video Game Grading Authority? I think it's time for a research montage. Okay, we're back. Apparently, people pay money to take video games, unopened, and seal them into boxes that can't be opened, thus defeating the purpose of a video game. Okay, first things first, let's get something out of the way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with preservation. I do it myself. In fact, I actually reviewed thin acrylic cases that for long boxes a while ago. In fact, if you look down below, the link is there to the page about it, that I use myself to protect the games from dust and so forth. The difference is that I can open those cases and play the game still. Two, grading in any sense of the word has never been good for any industry it's been used in. It pretty much destroyed the comic book and the baseball card market. Not all by itself per se, but it was a major contributing factor due to artificially inflating prices and grossly overstating product value. To avoid trolling and to avoid negative debates and discussions, I figured I would instead use the VGA Grading Services FAQ and About Us page and just do a laundry list comparison and show you why such a service isn't a service. It's a disservice, and to a degree it's a weird pyramid scheme. But we'll take this one step at a time. Fair warning, there's going to be butthurt in this video. It's all opinion. Deal with it. Cool. Let's go. First things first. VGA's website. VGA is Video Game Grading Authority, and they are part of a bigger contingency that also grades figures and die-cast and other collectibles. Now, the term slab has been put in the lexicon to describe the casing effect, and I can understand permanently sealing, say, a baseball card or maybe a toy, because by default those things don't do anything. A baseball card just sits there. An action figure, though meant to be played with, like a video game, if, you know, as a collector, it just sits there anywhere on the shelf. I've got toys myself, but they're not cased because I like to touch them and play with them. And not like that, you pervs. 3. If you go to their website, there's no flat fee for grading. It's all scale based. and we are going to go step by step and basically deconstruct how this is a pyramid scheme. Let's get to it. First things first, we're going to deal with their About Us page. The first paragraph discusses peace of mind, about how getting your item graded by trusted authorities will, make your item that much better, and it'll give you peace of mind, and blah, blah, blah. From the second paragraph, and I'm bringing up the screen, so bear with me. Second paragraph, last sentence states, and I quote, "While it's not always easy to spot forgeries or other signs of tampering, the graders at VGA are highly trained experts when it comes to detecting counterfeits and restoration." Bullshit. Here's the problem. Recently on eBay, a video game graded item, a Namco Museum, was a misprint. It was either a Volume 1N with the wrong back insert, or it was a Volume M with the wrong manual. The item was opened, not sealed, opened. In the video link that's going to appear right here or here, whichever there's more room for, is going to show you how I sat here and took 2 sealed video games and basically made the exact same thing that under the video game authority would be a qualified misprint. Now, as I stated in the opening disclaimer, that may be a genuine misprint, but until we can get a factory sealed copy of it and prove it, like the Final Fantasy one I mentioned in the other video, you can make up your own misprint. Have fun. Throw Final Fantasy into a SpongeBob. Throw Dukes of Hazzard into a, Airgite's case. Fuck it. They don't care. No. 2. Higher resale value for sellers. The second item says, and I quote, "Sellers often notice a dramatic increase in retail value once an item has been graded by the VGA." This is also bullshit, and this is where part of the pyramid scheme comes from. Of course you're going to see a dramatic raise in price. If you have a $15 game and a $15 game that you paid $25 for to get graded, plus the $5 shipping, plus the extra fees for anything else you might have added to it, it's gonna be, you're gonna charge more because you have to get all your money back. That's snake oil right there. Now, this snake oil is where the pyramid scheme comes into play. If you look at the VGA's website, you can have additional service upgrades, be it UV coating, you could have the photographs taken of your product and sent back to you, blah, blah, blah. Just by default, argument's sake, let's say you did every possible thing you could on your item. You would be spending $120 plus the $5 shipping on top of the game. So you've now turned a $15 game, so 15 plus 100, into about a $140 to $150 game. Now, obviously, you need to make your money back and get a profit for that. So let's just say, what the hell, we'll put $200 on it. Well, when you put that $200 game, that's really a $15 game on eBay, people are going to come and say, "Whoa, what the heck? I've apparently got, gold in my hands." So when they go to VGA, VGA can now say, "Oh, by the way, the fair market value of that $15 game is really $200 or more. So to get yours graded, you're now in the higher than $200 bracket." And they get to charge these people more. Now these people are going to have to raise the price on their game to try and make their money back. And it goes on from there. And that's the insane part, because you only have to look at eBay with a random VGA search and you see people literally trying to charge thousands of dollars for games that are nowhere worth that just because they're in this plastic tomb. Now, for argument's sake, half those people are probably just attention freaks who, want the publicity, or 2, they are throwing it out their highest price to try and get you to email them to get down to a lower price so you think you're getting a deal. That's a whole nother video. But that's what makes this insane. We are literally artificially raising the price on all these games by doing this. Now, here's the best part of that entire situation, why the pyramid scheme starts falling apart. It doesn't really sell more. In fact, you should start seeing slides going by that I took on eBay. Not only were games that were VGA graded not selling for more, they were selling for less than what it cost the poor seller to grade it. In our example in the second video, the seller lost $22, which I think he actually lost more because I forgot to include one of the options he had. There was a sports game that sold for $9. He didn't even get the money back from the game itself. There's probably my favorite one was the Soul Calibur 2 that not only sold less in the case than a normal copy, it sold less than the greatest hits edition of the game. So, side note, for all you haters that believe greatest hits games aren't worth crap, in your face. Ha. There's also one last example where a Batman Beyond sold for less than its non-graded counterpart. My question is, why in God's name did you spend money to grade Batman Beyond? Are you insane? And now we get to my absolute favorite part of this episode. When I purchased this Metal Gear variant, I bought it for the variant. It just happened to be in a VGA case. I've been wanting to do this VGA rant for a long time, and when the Metal Gear variant finally got here, I was presented with the final proof I needed just to show how much bullshit this whole scheme is, unintentionally. And we're going to start this section by reading the last paragraph on the page. At the very bottom of the VGA's About page, it says, and I quote, "Preserves the condition of your video games. Once an item has been graded, it is carefully secured inside one of our durable acrylic cases. It is then sealed to prevent all contact, leaving only an extremely thin seam to allow airflow. Once protected inside its case, an item is much more likely to stay in the same condition as when it was graded. It can no longer be touched by human hands, and the high-quality acrylic case is designed to prevent additional creases, bubble dings, and other damage." Well, guess what, guys? When I bought this, in the auction, the seller, who was awesome and totally took care of me, he's amazing, all good, took photographs, and you could see in the photos that everything was cool. The guidebook was perfect, the game was in its place, etc. When I got the game, it was absolutely perfectly packed, packaging materials, all good. And as I said in the beginning of this show, you could see that the guidebook was damaged. And the reason the guidebook was damaged is because when they actually put this in this case, they didn't take into account the lip in this bubble package that this game's actually in. Because of the weight of the guidebook, basically it fell through the bubble container. So the case couldn't protect the game from itself, and because I couldn't get to it, I can't fix it, thus defeating the purpose of getting it graded. 2, in the beginning of this video, I used quote marks when I said preservation, and there was a reason for that. The case doesn't preserve anything. They explain that the thin opening for oxygen, which is right here, you can see the bend right there, is to prevent basically what I would call sweat. When a temperature change happens, you sometimes see like steam and mist inside something plastic like a Tupperware container. That's fine. Understandable, go you guys. The problem is that air is still being let in. Oxidation is still happening. Now, to a degree, that might not, hurt the shrink wrap or maybe this bubble wrap, but for all those people spending money sealing open cartridges like, I don't know, a Nintendo World Championship cartridge, air is still ruining the cartridge. You basically paid money to put your game inside a sneeze guard from a buffet table. For the person who VGA'd the Neo Geo and all the DS systems and so forth, that case isn't protecting anything. The batteries will eventually corrode and leak. The cardboard will eventually soften. This does nothing. Nothing. You'd have better luck putting it in a vault at a bank for the same results. It'd probably be cheaper in the long run. I think about it too. I needed that. With the ranting over, at the time this video was being made, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, God, Microsoft, were just announced. And at least with the Xbox One, we are already seeing the downfall of our hobby and passion with the whole anti-used game and so forth and stuff like that. In an industry that is desperately trying to make our hobby a throwaway hobby, in which there is no more physical games, they can remove things at will off their digital store, like the Ninja Turtles reshelled game and all the stuff that was under Midway's thing before they closed. It is disheartening and soul-crushing to know that there are people who are taking games that people spent their lives and crazy hours and never saw their family, and taking these things, and instead of playing with them and enjoying them, or possibly giving to someone else to enjoy and get them started on the hobby, are imprisoning them in these absolute useless, like I said, sneeze guards. If we are to keep our hobby and our passion and livelihood, for that matter, we need to start from the bottom and work our way up. And we can start by making sure useless pyramid schemes like this, which are more or less just masturbation for egos, stops. This is one authority no one should have respect for. Thanks, guys. Like the video, comment below, subscribe, it's all good. We'll see you guys next time.